Today, we're going to dig into a really provocative idea. What if our failure to understand minds that don't use words isn't their problem at all, but ours? We're going to explore this concept of an invisible bridge, a connection that's always there if we just knew how to tune in. And this quote right here, it really sets the stage. It challenges this huge assumption we all make, that speech is the only way into the mind. This one idea is the key to everything else we're about to unpack. So let's get right to it. Why can't we hear the silent mind? Well, the argument here is that the problem isn't a weak signal coming from them. It's way too much noise coming from inside our own heads. The source gives this noise a name, beta static. You know what this is. It's that nonstop inner voice. The worries, the plans, the judgments. It's like trying to hear a pin drop during a rock concert. It's just not going to happen. Okay, and to really get this, we have to look at this distinction from yogic philosophy. We mix up vak, which is just speech, the external stuff, with manas, which is the mind itself, the whole inner universe. We see a silent mouth, and we just assume, well, there must be a silent mind. And that right there is where we go completely wrong. This quote captures the author's big aha moment. When they finally managed to tune out their own static, they didn't find emptiness. No, they found a maelstrom of geometric complexity, an entire universe of thought just bursting to get out. And that leads to the central puzzle, doesn't it? How does a mind that is just buzzing with this rich, complex inner life even begin to communicate in a world like ours that only seems to value words? Now, this is where the source completely flips the script on us. What if we're looking at this all wrong? What if this silence we perceive as a deficit is actually a kind of profound, unintentional discipline? I love this concept they introduce of the inverse yogi. See, a traditional yogi works for years and years to silence their mental chatter to find peace. But for the non-speaker, this inner quiet isn't a goal they work toward, it's their default state out of pure necessity. The main door for external expression is closed, so the mind has no other choice but to turn inward and explore its own vast palace. To explain this, the source uses this yogic model. Just picture two main energy channels in the body. You've got a solar channel for doing, for action, and a lunar channel for being, for intuition. Now, if that solar channel is disrupted, all that energy has to go somewhere, right? It gets rerouted and supercharges the lunar channel, creating what is essentially a constant, deep, meditative state. So, is there any science to back this up? Well, the source suggests we should be looking at brainwaves. Maybe the silent mind isn't silent at all. It's just broadcasting on a totally different frequency than we are. And this chart really lays it out. Most of us, we spend our waking lives in that high-frequency beta state. That's the frequency of anxiety, planning, and just overthinking everything. But the source proposes that non-speakers primarily operate in those calmer, deeper states, alpha and theta. That's the realm of intuition, insight, and deep connection. And that's the key takeaway right here. The mind isn't broken. It's not off. It's just tuned to a completely different channel, a state of constant, receptive meditation. Okay, so if the mind is a radio receiver, what's the antenna? Well, the source suggests we need to look beyond just the brain and consider the body's entire glandular system. The theory really zooms in on two key glands. The pituitary, in that calm alpha state, supposedly turns the entire body into a finely tuned receptive instrument. Then, in the even deeper theta state, the pineal gland is thought to act like a literal antenna, a biological satellite dish, picking up on information that completely bypasses our normal five senses. So, what's the end result of all this? You get a person who is incredibly, exquisitely sensitive to the unspoken world, to the energy and emotions of the people around them. Have you ever felt like someone just knew what you were feeling without a word? Well, this theory offers a pretty wild potential explanation for how that could be possible. And all of this builds to the final, and let's be honest, the most challenging part of this entire idea. It suggests that we've been trying to solve the wrong problem. It's not about fixing them, it's about re-examining ourselves. The source puts it plainly, this isn't an issue of disability, it's an issue of acoustics. The transmitter is working just fine, the broadcast is clear, the problem is with our receivers. We are all tuned to the wrong station, deafened by the constant static of our own minds. And the source doesn't just leave us hanging with this heavy idea. It actually provides a tool,
a practical exercise. It's a specific breathing technique designed to do one simple thing: help us quiet our own mental static so that we can finally become better listeners. So we'll leave you with that one big question, a simple matter of acoustics. Are you listening on the right frequency? The answer could change not just how you see other people, but how you hear the entire world. Thanks for diving into this with us.